me here. I am a freelancer who consults fintechs who are operating in digital lending space. Sounds a bit complex. So in short, I'm a consultant. Also, because I work with a lot of startups, I advise them, I mentor them on general execution strategy of their business. Also, I've become like a small-time angel investor as well. I invest small amounts of money in the startups and ideas that I like. And along with that, I also have some teaching interests where I am associated with some of the leading educational institutes, especially on the postgraduate side, where I help students understand this world of finance and fintech. MBA has been craze not of today, but for the last several decades. When I was in school, there was a template for success. And that template for success meant, पहले 10th में अच्छे marks लाओ, science ले लो, science में PCMB, फिर 12th में अच्छे marks लाओ, crack some entrance exam, get into engineering or medical. I chose engineering. Engineering ka next part is MBA, and then you get settled into a good job. So I kind of followed this track, this template of success. But what I realized after this is that it's just a goalpost that's shifting. पहले 10th के marks थे, फिर 12th के marks थे, फिर entrance हो गया, फिर engineering हो गई, फिर MBA हो गया, फिर अच्छा job हो गया, फिर उससे अच्छा job हो गया. So what I realized is that anything that you study, anything that you learn has a practical element of what you do in your job. But what you do in your job is more about what skills that you learn. And that essentially tells you or defines what kind of career that you choose. So that's I think there is a rush towards engineering and MBA. There is a validity to it. But if you look at how many engineers, how many MBA students who graduate today, very small percentage of that, like maybe top of the pyramid, really get quality jobs, quality employment, quality career opportunities based on their engineering or MBA degrees. Most of the others struggle to find their career pursuit, their professional aspirations. So when I studied engineering or like science before that, that gave me a perspective on analytical skills, how to handle data, how to work with technology, how to use all of that to put to business use. And MBA is more horizontal program where it gives you perspective on different aspects of businesses. So during my career, I've played different kind of roles where I moved from being a software engineer to somebody in sales, to marketing, to public relations, products, operations, analytics, and now consulting. So all of these pieces have helped me in doing what I'm doing today. But if you really ask me whether if I could have changed something, then perhaps I would have been doing an MBA a little early in my life, or possibly instead of engineering, if I wanted to do finance, then perhaps I could have done something else so that I would have landed here much earlier. I would have enjoyed that piece much earlier. In consulting or in world of finance, there are two things which are very critical. One is definitely analytical skills and the way that you understand problems and help find solutions for the problem. And second aspect is understanding of finance itself, the numbers, the data, the concepts of finance. My engineering education did not really help me in the world of finance. It is some bit of MBA and more of my actual career experience. So today, definitely skills are more important. But if I would have studied something related to finance, which would have given me both analytical ability as well as concepts of finance, and then did an MBA, maybe I would have been doing this much earlier in my life. I would have been maybe happier, more satisfied with my achievements, both in terms of the quality of work that I do, as well as perhaps monetarily as well. Absolutely. I think for me, it has been a very circuitous journey where I've bounced off many things. Like I mentioned, I did engineering, then I went into software engineering, which was not related to the area of my specialization. Then, after several years of doing software development, I did my MBA. Then I tried sales, then I tried marketing, then I tried product. And somewhere finance was one of the underlying currents, data was underlying current, and that's where I'm working today. So it was more of a self-discovery, or like a discovery which has happened over the journey. Now, if say as youngster, if I would have gotten like maybe a very specific guidance very early in my life, which would have helped me discover what my interest areas are, what my options are. And if I could have made slightly more informed choice much earlier, I may have chosen this path perhaps 10 years earlier, 15 years earlier, and that would have made me an experienced professional in this particular space for 15 years, rather than going to different hills and then reaching to this particular destination where I'm earlier. Skills are more important than just the education degree that you have obtained, because most of the college education is a bit outdated in comparison to what you would see in the actual practical world. And therefore, one needs to constantly learn different kind of skills. When I was a software engineer, I was trying to learn different programming languages, different programming frameworks, because that was relevant to my job. Then when I picked up opportunities in finance, in data, in analytics, then that segment became more important for me to keep abreast of what is happening in the world of AI, world of ML, world of finance. So I have to be abreast of that. And that keeps me relevant in my professional world. Also, I try to learn different skills on my personal side, which intuitively may not necessarily mean that they will have a direct relevance to my professional world, but I believe that it keeps my mind more engaged. So for example, I try to play a different sport every few years. I try to learn maybe a different kind of skill, which could be either in the market of stock market, could be one of the areas that I have experimented with in the recent times. I've also tried graphology as one of the skills that I tried picking a few years back. So these kind of different areas give you a perspective. And I firmly believe that all of these perspectives that you learn in different kind of domains somewhere shape you as a person, shape you as a professional, and could help you. It may not have a direct impact in terms of what exactly you would like to do. So definitely you should focus on professional skills which have a direct impact. But on non-professional side as well, just to keep life interesting, just to keep your mind more engaged, more active, more creative, it is always good to try out different skills on the non-professional side as well. Three things. One is, don't chase degrees, but chase skills. And like I mentioned, it's a learning. Learn some skills through your degree, but there are plenty of options today in the market which can be available through digital channels. You can learn from somebody teaching in US or any other market sitting here in India, right? So those possibilities are there. So your avenues to learn are infinite today. Second is that learning does not stop at some point in time. Just even today, it is relevant for me. Even 10 years down the line, it will be relevant for me. Just that my type of skill that I'm trying to capture could be very different depending on the context that I'm in. And third thing is that early on, while you are young, try to seek a more professional help to understand what your interests are, what your priorities are, what are the options available to you, so that you can make more informed choices. There's no harm in exploration. There's no harm in experimenting. One should do that. But if you can make that exploration more informed, then you might spend more time of your professional life or your personal life in areas where you will get higher satisfaction, higher happiness, even higher money. So I think that is what I would like to share with everyone.